Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for Friday, October 22nd, 2021. My birthday just a month away. This was the post-Crown Jewel edition of Smackdown. Not much wrestling. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. If you were looking for a wrestling-heavy edition of SmackDown, this, my friends, was not it. But let's go ahead and recap the show. It was noteworthy nonetheless. The draft is officially finalized. This SmackDown was the first show with the new SmackDown roster. Shout out to the chat room. Thank you guys for watching, whether it's live or on demand. We kicked off the show with a recap of the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, and then we had Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the Universal Champion, make his way to the ring. He asked a question to Paul Heyman. Was Heyman holding the Universal title for him or for Brock Lesnar? Now, of course, at Crown Jewel, we had that controversial finish where Paul Heyman slid the championship into the ring right in the center. Wasn't clear who Heyman was trying to assist. Reigns said that Heyman is not great at his job, but Reigns said he is great at his job. He is the best of the best. He is the greatest Universal Champion of all time. He smashed everyone, and he brought up all the names from this year. He mentioned Daniel Bryan, Edge, John Cena, Cesaro, and the list went on. And that includes Brock Lesnar, of course. Now, Roman Reigns said that Brock Lesnar said something online. Reigns wanted to know what it was. And Heyman read off the tweet that said Lesnar would be coming to SmackDown to beat Reigns senseless. Reigns smacked the phone out of Heyman's hand and said that he beat Lesnar so bad that Lesnar is tweeting now. That was a good line. And Reigns said he was not going anywhere until Brock Lesnar got into the ring. We had a commercial break. When we came back, there was still no Brock Lesnar. Reigns said Lesnar fears him. Reigns decided it was time to leave, but then Brock Lesnar did in fact arrive. We had a huge fight break out. And I mean, it was a fight. They battled on the outside of the ring. Heyman was just backing off as Lesnar glared at him. Lesnar grabbed the steel steps, hit Reigns with the steps, and then was going to give Reigns the F5 on the announce table, but the Usos ran in for the save. However, they got beat up as well. Things were just completely out of control, and you had Lesnar grab a camera. He threw the camera at Reigns. Reigns was able to duck at the last second. You had officials coming down. Lesnar started beating them up. And then you had several wrestlers come down. And Cesaro, of all people, was able to calm Lesnar down. I like that they had Cesaro be the one to get Lesnar to back off a little bit. Kind of made Cesaro seem like a big deal. They could have just had Cesaro get beat up too like a jabroni, but they protected Cesaro here a little bit. I liked it. And Lesnar got back in the ring. He grabbed the Universal title, held it over his head. And this was the first 25 minutes of SmackDown. And there was more, because after the second commercial break, we had Adam Pearce in the ring. He said what happened, it was unacceptable, irresponsible. Brock Lesnar endangered everyone, including the fans, and this cannot happen on his watch. He said that Brock Lesnar was indefinitely suspended. Brock Lesnar returned to the ring. He got right in Adam Pearce's face. He grabbed him. He was having a little trouble hearing. He wanted Pearce to repeat what was said. And Pearce, he was being choked, but he did say it. And that was basically his death certificate, because Brock Lesnar picked him up, hit him with the F5, and then hit him a second time with the F5. Brock Lesnar then said he got on the mic and said he can't hear Adam Pearce. Tell him again what's going on. And then he took his leave as Pearce was just completely out of it in the ring with his pants ripped open too. Just like when Michael Cole got F5'd and his shoe flew out from his feet. Same thing here. Adam Pearce got hit so hard his pants were ripped. This was a hell of an opening to the show. I mean, it was about 30 minutes, and I'm not really surprised to see Brock Lesnar written out of television. Keep him away until Royal Rumble when he makes his big comeback. You know, he's a part-timer. The thing is, the only negative is that they've done this before. MVP Kev says he thought it was 2015 or 2012. Remember when Brock first came back, they suspended him for several months to write him off television since he was only on a part-time deal. And then 2015, they did something similar, as I mentioned, when he took out Michael Cole with the F5. But it was a very good segment here. I enjoyed it. And the crowd was just loving the lumberjack Brock Lesnar laying to waste everybody. Backstage, we had Naomi confront Sonya Deville, and Sonya was busy with all the chaos, and she was not happy. Naomi wanted a fair match, but Sonya told her to take her leave, to get the hell out of there. So Naomi left, and then Drew McIntyre arrived and said he was going to issue an open challenge whether Sonya Deville liked it or not. Drew McIntyre came to the ring, said enough of the BS, it's time to finally have a wrestling match. And the person to accept his open challenge was Sami Zayn. Yes, Sami Zayn accepted the challenge. New music, by the way. Not sure how I feel about it. Like, his music is iconic, but at the same time, he's a heel, and that music never really made sense with the heel character. I mean, really, they should have changed the music when he first turned heel and had a better song choice than what they came up with for now. Because, I mean, you had all this time to come up with a good heel theme song, and this was the best you could do. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it anyways. Caleb Jacobs with the $2 super chat says Pearce was definitely suspended. Well, yeah, he was suspended way up in the air, that's for sure. So Sami Zayn said that McIntyre's a newbie on SmackDown, and Zayn said he's the best superstar in SmackDown. He accepted the challenge. And it was pretty much what you would expect. Sami Zayn tried to hide on the outside of the ring. McIntyre would go after him. Zayn did get the upper hand for a while. He struggled to get the Blue Thunder Bomb on because of McIntyre's size. McIntyre hit a Glasgow kiss, and he went for a tackle, but he got sent into the ring post not once but twice. And then Zayn was gonna hit the haluva kick, but he got cocky. He mocked Drew McIntyre with the 3-2-1, and instead of the haluva kick, McIntyre hit the Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre beat Sami Zayn, and I'm pretty sure nobody was surprised by this. Hamp Connell with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Hamp. I appreciate it. He says, just recycled crap. He will be suspended to be written off TV. He will return at the Royal Rumble and win it, and it will be Brock and Roman at WrestleMania. The writing was on the wall from the start of the show. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, and we all knew it too. I mean, it's really no surprise that Brock would take the rest of the year off, come back Royal Rumble for WrestleMania season. Like, that's how WWE rolls with Brock Lesnar. So it's probably going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And they're maybe going to try to get The Rock for WrestleMania 39. I guess we'll see. Can they keep the Tribal Chief thing going for another year until they get to Hollywood? We'll see. Alberto Gomez with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, first Roman, now Lesnar, poor Adam Pearce. Yeah, Adam Pearce just trying to do his job, but he knew it was coming and he took it like a man. Like he did not back down. He stood by it even when Brock Lesnar was choking him. Pearce knew he was going to get it, but he still stuck to his job and told Lesnar he was suspended. So there you go. Adam Pearce is a real man's man. We had the coronation of King Xavier. And Kofi Kingston arrived, did the introduction. Fun little segment here. They put the cape on Xavier. Crowd chanted, "You deserve it." And they had Xavier cut a promo. He said that the fans helped turn his dream into a reality. And then Kofi read the King's Gospel, finished it off by saying, "All hail King Woods." Crowd chanted along. It was fine. Nice little cute segment here for Xavier Woods. Hamp Connell with a $2 super chat says, "I'm guessing they could not get The Rock this time." Well, it doesn't look like it. I mean, I suppose things can always change, but yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen. It's looking like it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar one more time. And will Lesnar beat Reigns to win the title? That remains to be seen. I hope not. I don't think Reigns should be losing it to Lesnar, quite frankly, even at WrestleMania. Colin Andrews says he's happy for Woods. Hope everyone is well tonight. Same to you, Cleaver Colin Andrew. We had Becky Lynch backstage talking about the title switch. They were hyping up Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair swapping their championships now that Becky is on Raw and Charlotte's on SmackDown, but they have the other brand's title. We all knew this was coming, that they were going to do this just like they did last year. Hamp Connell with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Hamp. Says, "Oh, don't you worry, Aaron. They will definitely keep the tribal chief thing going as long as they have to. You know they have no problem with that." Yeah, you're right about that, but can they keep it interesting? I guess that's the better question. Can they keep this persona, this heel persona, dominant champion, can they keep that interesting for another year? Alberto Gomez with a $2 super chat says, "Roman could hold it till Rock is available," which might happen, but even The Rock, I don't think The Rock should be beating Roman Reigns, whether it's WrestleMania 38 or WrestleMania 39. They gotta get that next big star and have that guy beat Roman Reigns. Just my opinion. It needs to be the next big thing in WWE. Could it be Braun Breaker? Maybe too soon to say, but I'm hoping that guy will emerge sooner than later. We had a Xia Li vignette, and we also had some promos to hype up the new people on SmackDown. Ridge Holland, Aaliyah from NXT, they did promos. Angel Garza and Humberto did a promo, and then Sheamus did a promo as well. We had Mansoor versus Ali in a pointless rematch. They always got to do the rematches. Not much to say about it. Ali took a couple good bumps from Mansoor, was suplexed and got clotheslined inside out. Mansoor picked up the win, and Ali was very upset, and that was that. Mansoor, I guess, continues his push. Don't know where they're going with Ali. They'll probably do another match, 2 or 3 matches over the next several months. I don't know, but they should really move on to a new storyline now. Either put them back together or put them in separate programs. We had Hit Row make their arrival. They came down to the ring. They all cut promos. Crowd really wasn't sure what to make of these guys, which just goes to show that not everybody is watching NXT. I mean, that's obvious from the numbers. They won a squash match, and then afterwards, well, let me talk about the squash match here real quick. not much to say about it. Swerve Scott did some flashy moves. Top Dollar got in and was the powerhouse. You had him grabbing both guys, holding them both up, slamming them down, and then Scott and Top Dollar did their double team finisher, picked up the win. I like the fact that they did 2 enhancement guys. This is something I've been talking about for weeks, how they should have more enhancement matches. Not doing like the same matches over and over again, but bring in some local talent for squash matches. Why not? You know, build up your superstars that way like you used to do back in the day. So I say thumbs up for this. Even though the crowd really did not react much to them, it's going to take time. You got to build them up with the new audience. Alberto Gomez with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Alberto. I appreciate it. Says, have Roman Reigns lose the title to turn him into Triple H 2004, where he's angry to add more depth into the character, or have him go face for a while, then heel. I do think that might be a good idea if they're not doing the Rock match until WrestleMania 39. He could always drop it sooner, and he could drop it before WrestleMania 39, maybe SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. He could drop it to one of the young up-and-comers, like a Braun Breaker or somebody. Like, that could always happen. And then Rock and Roman Reigns could just be non-title. It doesn't necessarily need to be for the title. If it's WrestleMania 38, I'd say absolutely it should be for the title. But if they have to wait another year, I say do a title change if you're not able to keep things fresh with him as the heel champion. And as Matt Helms points out, no, there was no Jeff Hardy on this show. Actually, I think he was standing around backstage, so they still really don't have any kind of plan for Jeff Hardy, at least this week. You know, they did spend so much time with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at the beginning. We'll see next week if they find something for Jeff Hardy to do. And we had Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs up against Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. I really did not have much interest in this match just because we've seen it so many times. WWE was touting this is a new era of SmackDown, yet we get the same rematch we've seen time and time again. Pretty standard stuff from these guys. Corbin worked over Nakamura for a while, and then you had Boogs on the outside playing Nakamura's song to get him to come back, and that worked. Shin was making his comeback, but then Moss, Madcap Moss, he grabbed the guitar. Shinsuke Nakamura went after Moss, and that was his undoing because Corbin grabbed Shin, threw him into the steel steps, got him back in the ring, and picked up the win with the end of days. Corbin, I guess, gets his win back after all those losses, and his push continues, which I'm just not into this gimmick. I know he's supposed to be an obnoxious heel, but man, it's so lame, and not in an entertaining way. It's just like, I want to change the channel. That's just how I feel about it personally. I'm not really feeling the gimmick. Jason Mason says, Happy Corbin is the same gimmick as King Corbin, just a different name, so boring. I mean, I'm with you on that one. That's exactly how I feel about it. So we had our final segment of the evening, the championship swap between Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion. Actually, they were reversed, but they were supposed to be swapped. Charlotte came out with the Raw title. Becky came out with the SmackDown title. It's confusing, but whatever. So anyways, Sonya Deville was the mediator of this, and the crowd was chanting Becky 2 belts, wanting to see Becky just win the title. And Becky tried to grab the Raw title from Charlotte, and then Becky eventually threw the SmackDown title at Charlotte, and the exchange was made. Charlotte pitched the idea of them having a winner-take-all match to see who is the 2-belt person. But then before that could officially be made, Sasha Banks arrived, and she called Charlotte a bitch, said Charlotte is out of her mind. Charlotte responded by saying that SmackDown's a PG show. That was not a very nice comment. Becky said, I'm done with this. She said she'll see one of them at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, took her leave, and then Sasha said that Friday nights it would be boss time, and there was a brief fight between the two of them. Sasha got the upper hand, and that was the end of SmackDown. Joey Perez says the title switch is my letter grade down for the show. And Atomic Cody says never trust WWE when they tease something huge because they usually disappoint. I mean, I really was not expecting much out of this. I figured they would do something exactly what they did. So all I can say is don't set your expectations too high. I'm not a fan of this title swapping, but that's what they do. And I guess Charlotte is an extra reign as champion, 13 now, whatever it is. I'm not even sure, but I'm sure of one thing, they'll make a big deal out of it. Caleb Jacobs says it's 13 for Charlotte. So there you go. 13 times for Charlotte, 6 for Becky. And I don't think they're going to even do what I think they should do and merge the titles at Survivor Series. Probably just the bragging rights that people forget about a week later. And Anthony says, is Sasha Banks turning face? I guess by default, because Charlotte's a heel. Show was good. I mean, it started really strong, and then it kind of fell flat at the end, especially the last hour or so. I did like the Hit Row debut, but yeah, Mansoor and Ali wasn't necessary. Shinsuke, Nakamura, and King Corbin, Happy Corbin, whatever. And then the main event segment, kind of So yeah, it was a mixed bag for me. I'm going to give the show a solid B, though. It was a good show overall. But that B, I attribute much of that B letter grade to the first 30 minutes of the show. That was A quality. Then the rest of the show was maybe C-, C maybe, quality. Alberto Gomez with a $5 super chat says, I think Sasha Banks needs a change and bad. I love her, big fan, but how much longer can she do this gimmick? I mean, look at Bayley, freshen up, I get what you're saying, Alberto, when a lot of the all-time great characters in WWE change up their act, evolve it. Bayley did great. She really reinvented herself. We really haven't seen that from Charlotte either. She's been more or less the same character for the past 6 years. Becky's changed a little bit. She's gone through some changes and, the heel turn, freshening her up a little bit. But yeah, I get what you're saying about Sasha. Her and Charlotte, I think both could use a little bit of a character overhaul at some point. Darren gives it a C-. Caleb Jacobs, B+. Mark Del Rio and Mohammed with B-. Same with Game is on 100. Joey Perez gives it a C+. Now, I looked at the poll results. 31% went with an A, 36% with a B, 24% with a C, and 9% with a D. So kind of a mixed bag from you guys. More B's than anything else, but definitely a show that had some mixed thoughts. And I do think the show had its ups and downs. And that was SmackDown, everybody. Now, stay tuned to NoDQ.com. We got Saturday Night Dynamite. We got Bound for Glory, but I'm not going to be doing a live stream at 1 o'clock or whenever that show ends. But could be a few significant surprises. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com this weekend. Not sure if we're doing a NoDQ review. If we do, it'll be on Sunday night. And then, of course, I'll be back next week, Raw, Halloween Havoc. Not sure what we're doing on Tuesday night, but there will be a recap. It might be myself and Jeff Meacham doing a joint video. We haven't finalized that yet. And then Wednesday will be, I think, Dynamite back in its normal schedule. There will be no DQ review next Thursday, though. And I think Jeff will be doing Talk Wrestling Friday night. So next week, things are kind of out of whack. I'm going to be busy next Friday, so there will be no recap from me next Friday, just letting you guys know. But I think Jeff will be doing something next Friday night. And after that, when we get into November, we should finally be back to a normal schedule here on the channel. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please continue to spread the word. Share a link to this video. Share a link to the channel on social media. Tell your friends. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. Have a great weekend, everybody. And I will see you all next time.